Welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. What we have on the bench is something to look at. This is from an old man's collection, men's shed. See label for lock function. So we have a Yale Knobset, and you can see by the packaging, a member of the Yale security group. See label for lock function. It's basically a bayonet fitting knob set. So we're going to have a look and see what things have changed these days. We've got our certification there, made in the USA. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just one it is for the US market that's been brought in. We've got the stars and all that sort of stuff on there. Alright, let's look at it from this point of view. Yale. Yale Security, 100 Yale Avenue, Lemoore City, TN. Description, Lockset, other date. What's the date on this? It's not showing it. Anyway, finish is US 320, quantity 1, item number 0LL. Okay, cool. Let's have a look. Ooh, we're doing an unboxing video today. We have our latch, and already I can see that's a little bit thicker than normal. I probably should have grabbed another one so I could compare it, because that seems a bit thicker. Alright, dead latching function, push this one in. Yep, that works. A little bit tight, but not too bad. I want to check the latch. I think that's different. Only slightly, but I think it is different. And I've got some vernier calipers here. Alright, so we're pushing 28.3, 25. I was right. A little bit fatter. 56, 56.8, 56.8. Okay, so we are lengthwise or height-wise the same, width different. Interesting. Okay, now let's look at the striker plate. Wow, that's quite a lot of striker plate, really. Once again, let me grab a standard striker plate. Why I didn't have this ready, I don't know, but I've got hundreds of them over here. Just one standard SS standard striker plate for an Knobset. That's what we want to compare it to. Okay, so this is your standard striker plate that we use in Australia. This is the one that came with this. I believe these were used in the US quite a lot, this type of format. Not used here, we only use these ones. Let's go over the reference of that just for interest. Okay, 70 by 28.3, 31.5. I'm talking mils, by the way. 123. So I mean, this would be a really good striker plate if you had a damaged frame and you wanted something bigger, where if you've had 5 of these mounted and they've got the same holes and it's all deteriorated or it's been kicked in, popping one of these on top would be good. In actual fact, for a wooden frame, I would like to have a few of these in stock, because it would give the customers an extra option to go big or go home, so to speak. So yeah, interesting. All right, let's look at the knob set now. Okay, we've got some instructions. All right, so we have our screw pack. Looking at the screw pack, I'm also seeing some really interesting things. A lot of the time with your screws, in our standard screws, we have these screws here which have a wood thread and then a little bit of a metal thread, often used on the striker plates. Here as well, I've got some oversized ones. These are your standard ones you get with all your knob sets, but these are twice the thickness. Just for reference, how thick are these bad boys? All right, they're about 4.5 mil. Our standard ones are like, 3.5 mil. They are a lot bigger. Obviously, to be used with this striker plate, these big fat ones can be used with that striker plate. They didn't give us 2 striker plates, they only gave us 1 striker plate. Here's this tool, very common in the US, not so common here, and it does look like maybe a bird or a race car bed, whatever you want to call it. One side is for removing your knob, and the other side is for, I believe, removing your knob again. Oh, that's interesting. I would have thought it'd be there's one tool that tightens up the rows around the outside, but this one looks like it's for actually removing the knob. And I do think this has some merit, because a lot of the time that little pushing key is quite hard. So that's going to be interesting. Okay, looking at the body mechanism. Looks a little bit more solid than our 3000s. It's got the same carriage, the same pullback, like the half moon in there that pulls this carriage back on the 2 springs at the back. Looks the same there. We've got these pins in the front, the anti-rotational pins, I think. No, they're not. They're not. So this is a passage set. Okay, is that for the screws for the body? All right, so they've done things a little bit differently here. We've got a rotating collar to find the drop-in point. We've got a hole back here. So, okay, let's just see how we go here. So a completely different push-in section. Is there some sort of special tool to get this off? I'm just going to give up on that. I'm just going to come in here at an angle and push this down. There we go. Alright, so our knob comes off the same way. You can see those two little dents on either side there. Okay, and you can see this collar here, which actually rotates as well. Didn't need it to, but oh, okay. This is a screw thread. Must be. It's either got to be a screw thread or it's got a lock-in lug, but it has to be screw thread. Okay. Screw thread with an O-ring washer so it doesn't move and doesn't undo itself. Taking this part off now. We have our plate. We have our two divots so it doesn't rotate when it's on the wood. Doesn't rotate, that's fine. A spot to put two screws, and this just goes straight over the top like so. No indents in that, that's just a round ring, and of course that is held into position with this nice outer nut here. I'm not seeing any more screws in the box, so I think there's more to it. Here we have our instructions, once again all in Imperial. I would expect nothing less. Okay, so there's your door thickness there, and there is your back set. So we've got 70mm back set or 95mm back set. Now that's interesting there. 70mm or 95. This is a 70mm latch, what we call 70mm latch, and that looks identical there. So 70mm, obviously they've got another size latch of 90mm, 95mm. That's non-adjustable. We don't use 95 in Australia. Also your door thickness, I think this is in Spanish. There we go there. I can't see the thickness of the door, but looking at that latch, that's not going to go too nicely on a 35mm door. So 25mm hole saw, 25mm speed ball, they are mentioning that. This size hole right here, we've got 54mm, once again at 70 or 95. So okay, everything's fairly standard there. Don't know what that is. We've got our instructions here as well. Everything looks to be fairly normal. So this is a bit of an old schooler one, this one. Okay, so nothing much is happening there. Mark out your latch, the mortise in your latch, make your hole saw, get the knob off of what I've just shown you there, install the lock. Okay, so installing the lock, they've given us a new step here, which is where our bayonet fits onto our lock body, which is quite common. This tool here, they're saying it's for this ring here. So that's just to give you some grip to pull it up and around, and everything looks pretty straightforward. Now, I'm noticing here too, that looks like they had the standard strike, and they had the standard striker keeper box, but it's not included, and they did have a big keeper box for the big strike. So it looks like that was an optional extra. They also teach you on how to remove the knob set, and they're using a Yale profile key, YA1E, and then we've got it in different languages. Okay, so learn a little bit from the instructions. Always good to read what we like to call the destructions. All right, so we're on this side now. So I'm getting nothing happening from there, but I do need to shorten this lock body in because its positioning is not right. So I'm going to take that knob off, and I'm going to unscrew this because I know how to do that now because I read the instructions. And that comes off, and that's coming off as a one-piece, no O-ring rubber there, but a provision for it. Okay, so that is spring-loaded. Look at that. That's interesting and kind of cool. Now, some of the features of this I'm already finding out that is different to what we're used to is that normally there's two screws that attach this plate on the inside here. You know, normally there's two screws that attach that, but there's not. But there is provision holes for it, but if you were to use those two screws, obviously they're going to go into the lock body. So completely different design here. We've got a screw thread holding it all together, and that just looks like something to take up the distance. So we'll just push that in like so, spin this on. Yeah, they skimped out on the front, so I can adjust that all the way in without needing to remove that front knob, which is interesting. I've got my key there. Now I should have a key cylinder on this side, but I don't because it is not a entrance set, it's just purely a passage, and I can see my cutout is only on one side, so I can slide it on only on one side to pick up my key there. Okay, slides on pretty nicely. All right, now we have this. Okay, so latch is just the same as always, right? You just clip it on your bayonet, feeding it just like that. Why is it not moving? This is probably why I've ended up with it. Okay, so I can move that knob, but being a passage, it should be free on the outside, and I cannot turn this knob. Isn't that crazy? Have they mixed up with the lock parts or something, or is something going on here? Because that knob on the outside 100% should be free. If it's not free, this would be like a communication set, but it's not. I'm just putting it back together, obviously wrongly. I don't know how, but obviously wrongly. Okay, so I'm going to slide that into there. Ooh, okay. We've got a piece of metal here and a piece of metal here, which look like they would prevent rotation. I think that's some sort of design flaw, to be honest with you, because if I put the knob on, I've got rotation. Everyone's happy. I mean, it's a passage, right? You've got to have rotation. Now, if I slide this all the way, I've got this piece on the side and this piece on the side, which are kind of going through where the cylinder normally sits. Now I've got no rotation. No rotation. So this is perhaps the lock you put on that customer that really gave you the shits, and you want them to get locked out on some veranda and have to Spider-Man it to get back around. Deliberately annoyed. Okay, so once again, teeth go towards the meat of the door. This plate goes on top. Then we come over with our screw threaded collar, spin him on, and we should be good to go. So that's probably the reason why I got them. They're probably on special and nobody's been able to use them, because they are a faulty product. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, we got it there. We got nothing there. I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm not going to pull it apart to find out. Interesting. So that's a Yale Lockset. Look, I don't know the exact year of it. It should say date. It does say date here, date and code. Okay, date and code. 1515962221JJ. So I can't make a date out of that, but still interesting to look at. All fairness, it's weighing a bit more than our you could say commercial fire rated range that we use a lot. You're speaking carbine, Brava Metro. It's weighing a bit more. There's a bit more material in that. I'm feeling that's, you know, maybe a kilo. The material here I can see as well is an upgrade. You know, that's good. This collar section as well also adds weight and meat to it. Yeah, the actual mechanism, the return mechanism's quite springy, as it should be. I can see some sort of grease and lubricant in there, so it doesn't not look like a bad quality product. I wouldn't be surprised if it was fire rated. The ring around the outside as well, I'm going to say that's not the 65mm that we're used to. It looks a bit smaller. 64. So I think our ones are a little bit bigger. Maybe they're bigger, I can tell. I've fitted enough of them to say they're bigger. So I'm going to put that back in the bag now and then send it back to wherever it came from. I just thought it'd be nice to have a look and see what we can identify and see how this US style of lock kind of works and what's going on with it. Yeah, I mean, I possibly would use them. The rose, which is this part here, being smaller probably wouldn't suit. The latch being wider really doesn't suit us, because you don't want to have to chisel out the door bigger and then the next lock that comes along's got a smaller one on it. And the rose, once again, if this rose here doesn't cover your painted footprint, you're going to end up with something to touch up. So for those reasons, you know, not suitable for us in Australia, but it is still a quality knob set if you're doing a scratch fit or anything like that. I mean, apart from the fact that it's a passage and the outside passage doesn't work, we can always overlook that, can't we? Anyway, the Yale, what series do we say? I'm not sure on the series. In America, they would know this series. That's the so-and-so series. I've got item number is 0LL. I can't really identify what series it is. Oh, Yale 100. Oh no, that's their address. Finish US 320. Yeah, I'm not sure. If anyone knows what exact model number it is, put it down in the description. But yeah, Yale Lockset. Came across the bench, I thought it'd be worth a little bit of a squeeze. Oh, let's not forget the bird Allen key spike remover thingy. Okay, that is what our knob set remover looks like in Australia for a lot of our knobs. Just a piece of wire, you just push it in. Their one looks like a bird thingy. Okay, thanks for watching.